Okay, so we are going to solve these two quadratics. Start with the one on the left. If I was doing this one on my own, I would move everything over to the right-hand side of the equal sign because x squared right here is positive. However, I saw a lot of you move it over here and make it negative, which is fine, but remember you want to keep it positive, so you'd have to factor out a -1 or multiply through by -1. So, think about that. Your steps won't work out so well for you if it is negative. So I'm going to leave it over here, and I'm going to move the stuff over to the right, which is going to give me 0 equals x squared minus 7x minus 30. All right? So remember, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me a -30. So I can do -1 times 30. I can do 1 times -30. It's even, so -2 times 15. 2 times -15. Got -3 times 10. 3 times -10. 4 does not divide evenly into 30. But 5 does, so I could do -5 times 6, or 5 times -6. So then when I get to 5, 6 divides evenly, but then I'm just right back where I started. So these are all my possibilities. So I need it to multiply together to give me this number, and I need it to combine to give me this number. So when I look at these, if I add these two factors up of any of these that I've chosen, saw a lot of people choose this one right here. Well, -3 and 10 gives you 7, but we don't want 7. We want -7. So this is actually the pair that works. Okay? So we've picked our pair. They're going to combine to give me -7. They multiply to give me -30. So I have to set up my factors. I don't forget my GCF. Oops. But I don't have a GCF right here, so we don't make one up. I split my x's. My factors are +3 and -10. So this right here, this is factored. Okay, I need to see that you have it factored and actually see it factored completely. Once you have it factored, then you take the two factors, get x plus 3 equals 0. X minus 10 equals 0. So x equals a -3 and x equals 10. Right? Those are my two solutions here. Now, do you have to write out all the stuff that I have up here in pink all the time? Not necessarily. If you can think through them, that's fine. Sometimes when you're not writing them down, though, you get things backwards or you get stuck. So if you're stuck and you're just staring at it, definitely start writing some stuff down. All right, so let's look at the second one. So yes, it's a quadratic. I'm going to set it equal to 0 in standard form. So my x squared is on the left and it's positive, so I'm going to leave it there. To get 3x squared, I'm going to subtract the 15x over, plus 12 equals 0. Okay, so step 3 was check for a GCF. Can I factor out a GCF? Yes, it is 3. So that gives me x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. All right, so I'm here. Remember your GCF that's out here? He just hangs out here. You don't do anything with him as far as factoring is concerned, but you cannot forget about him. So here I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me 4. Well, it can be 1 times 4, or it could be -1 times -4. It could be 2 times 2, or it could be -2 times -2. Since it's positive, it's either two positive numbers multiplied together or two negative numbers multiplied together. Those are my choices. Remembering that I need to make it multiply to give me this number, my C, and combine to give me this number. So that means it's going to have to be these negative ones, and -1 times -4 gives me a +4. -1 plus -4 gives me a -5. So here's the winners. And then when I factor, that's where my GCF comes down here. So there's my 3. I have to make sure I keep my equation. It's equal to 0. I split my x's. It becomes -1 and -4. So this right here, this is factored. If you drop the GCF and lose him somewhere, you do not have it completely factored. Then you continue on and solve. So x minus 1 equals 0, x minus 4 equals 0. So x equals 1 and x equals 4. Make sure you're showing your work. Make sure that you are factoring it all the way and have it factored. Don't lose your 0. Don't lose your GCF. Show your work. Make sure you understand the process.